Let us say hello to old friend Tony Ferguson. Tony, are you there?
What's up, my guy? How you doing, Ariel?
I'm doing great. It's great to hear from you. How is life?
Oh, man, I got to tell you one thing. I heard check this out.
Okay.
Who said this before? When you shake things up, the cream always rises to the top.
Ooh, yeah. Dig it.
Ooh, yeah. Can you dig it?
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I got a fight coming up May 11th in LA for GFL Promotions.
This is big. I think this is breaking news.
This is cool. This is awesome, man. I'm mean, bro.
Okay, you're breaking up there a little bit. I think perhaps it's cutting in and out, but we'll fight through it. So is this the Dillon Danis fight that we found out about in just a couple of days ago? What's that?
Yeah, so first I was offered a boxing match against KSI. Now, see, I was offered a boxing fight against KSI at first.
And what happened?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, so I was offered a boxing match against KSI. We were in heavy negotiations, which was awesome. I'm ready to take the fucking fight because, I mean, in MMA, we don't get to wear shoes. In wrestling, I wear shoes. I move completely different in boxing than I do in any other sport. So you ask anybody who trains with me. I'm ready to fucking go. And then they had me wanting to go to a press conference the week after, and I was ready down. And I started thinking, I was like, okay, let me talk to my team. So I started talking to my team, talked to my dad, I got my father, my dad in my corner now, and I got a couple other people that are good advisors for me. And we're like, hey, you know what? Let's finish up mixed martial arts. Let's get this going, and then we can worry about boxing later. So it wasn't like we said no or we haven't said yes, but we started focusing more towards MMA. And then obviously KSI went and I guess found a different opponent because by then there was the draft. That was when shit was all going down. And then when the draft happened and everything, it was like kind of like, okay, yeah, we're certain that this is where the direction where we want to go. We want to turn some heads. We want to make sure that everything is good, and we're tired of fucking losing. Like it's dub season all day from here on out. You know, when I left the UFC, you know, everything was, I hate to say it, you know, I wanted to fight another time, but obviously, you know, I mean, even me, like, it was kind of like, okay, I have to excuse myself, guys, you know, but I don't want to leave on bad terms. And so talking to Hunter actually, and then coming into terms with it, it was like, we all agreed that, you know, it was the best interest for me to move on. Like, honestly, it was awesome. I want to go and I want to play different sports. I want to go and I want to experience new things, new trophies, new rings, new fucking championships. I want to keep adding to my resume. And we thought it was necessary to be able to do that for me to be able to start and grow, not only as an athlete, but as a man. Now, for a long time, Ariel, you've been covering this sport. And, you know, this sport has been built on the backs of very strong men and women, all the way from the fighters, all the way up to the promoter. And I have been knee deep in most of the fucking changes that have been made in the sport, alongside some of my other, you know, classmates, I guess you could call us. You know, you can't be afraid of change. You know, like how you know, Macho Man said, you know, when you shake things up, the cream always rises to the top. And here we are with GFL. Wasn't too sure about how the transition was going to be, but I have to tell you, I packed up all my UFC stuff. I put it in the bags, and it was the hardest fucking thing I had to do. It was like a couple of days where it took time for me to be able to adjust. And I put everything in big storage bags, and I was ready to move on. And it's almost like I went in the Ultimate Fighter with the purpose of, you know, was winning a fat check so I could help, you know, my family out, my grandma and everything. And then, you know, I ended up getting a contract. So this whole entire process has never been a disappointment, but what it has been is a learning experience of how, one, I go about my business, two, about how I treat my close circle, and three, about how I want to plan for the future. And right now, where we're at in this stage, it's so amazing that there is an opportunity for a lot of other people to be able to display their things and to be able to wear some new clothes and a new jersey and a new fucking name and a shirt. And it's such a great feeling to have and such a relief to be able to move on. And no bad blood anywhere. I think this is great sport. I mean, I think this is great. I think the direction that it's going, one day we will see in the Olympics, but it's going to take us in this class that we have for the GFL for 2025, especially May 11th, to come out there and make sure that everybody understands that we're not fucking around. We're getting paid right. We have teams. This is exactly how I liked it in wrestling. It might be an individual sport, but you're still fighting for a team. You get a pin, you get 6 points. And this is as close to like that kind of scenario as in like a professional legitimate collegiate type of atmosphere where it wants to break into the new atmosphere. And I've been talking a lot, but I'm excited, dude. I'm gonna be real with you.
I wanted to let you speak for as long as you wanted, Tony, because everything that you're
There's a
saying.
lot I didn't say. There's a lot I didn't say, Ariel, but I'm gonna
Oh,
be real. It was a really crazy emotional experience to take my stuff and to put it into bags, but it felt like I was closing a different chapter in my life and writing a new book. I have fought for fucking I don't know how many years waiting for a championship and then getting it and then having it taken and then dangling in front of me again like I'm fucking like what? Like what do you think I am? Like I'm a human being. I'm not trying to bitch and moan. I'm a tough motherfucker and I'm a human being. But at least if you do this to me, you're not gonna feel bad for doing it to the next person. And then there's a lawsuit and there's other things, but that's not what I'm focused on. My focus is always to what? Keep the sport moving. Didn't I always say that, Ariel?
yes.
And I've always kept that to my word. And if I can demonstrate May 11th that a guy that had a 12 fight win streak has an 8 and then come back and fucking steal the show and fucking win every single fight and go out there and look like a completely different fighter. That's beyond legendary. It's never been done, and I love doing things that never been done.
Tony, the last time we saw you in action, and I really appreciate you talking about this. We haven't heard much from you in the form of interviews since the last time we saw you in action, which was back in August. And so if we could kind of start there, if you will. I know we've already started, but you did take off one glove, which, usually we see the 2 gloves.
Look, bro, look, man, I wasn't ready to fucking retire, but it felt like I had to do something. Dude, I was so fucking sick. I had heat stroke. Like on that Thursday, I went to go. I went and ran every day in that area, right? And it was hot and it was humid. It wasn't wet. The one day that I go, I didn't pay attention to my shit, dude. I lost like fucking like 8, 9 pounds, and I fucking felt like I was not like dead, but I felt like the weirdest fucking shit. I didn't stop puking and everything. I didn't eat. I didn't rehydrate. And I thought I was nervous, and it was just a lot of shit that was going on, bro. But I was really fucked up. And I don't really like to say that, but going into that, I was puking like a motherfucker. And then you had the bullet, dude. What's his fucking name? The guy from Dagestan or the wrestler over there?
Shara Bullet.
Yeah, dude. And he's looking at me. I'm like, I started strong, and then all of a sudden, like, I started overheating, and it was like that whole entire trip was it was just meant to be. God was like, you know what, dude? Hey, we're trying. It's good. I see that you're fucking trying. Let's find a new avenue for you. Let's find a new direction. You're gonna have to go through this one, and you're gonna have to make the trip, and you're gonna have to prove to me that this is what you want to do. And going through that, it was the most miserable fucking process, but I had my family with me. And the week before that we went out there, we had a miscarriage.
I'm sorry.
And so like, well, it happens. I'm not the only one. But what we do is we don't dwell on it. And what we do is we get back to the fucking board and we make sure that we try. So my takedown defense is very strong right now, Ariel.
What I was wondering was, in that moment, did you think that maybe it was the last time you were going to compete in MMA?
No, absolutely not. It might have been the last time I was going to compete for the UFC.
Okay.
When it goes into an athlete like me, I've never really been cut from a team ever. I have to like say that. I've always worked my ass off and I've always found a way, even if I wasn't able to play. I had broken my arm one time my sophomore year and I switched schools. I had to sit out for 6 months, or I sit out for a whole fucking semester because of the thing when you switch schools. And I sat out and I suited up every fucking game. I suited up every fucking practice. And I showed up, even knowing that I wasn't going to be able to play. I'm a fucking gamer. You will never find another fucking professional athlete like me. You might, but we're few and wholehearted, man. I had a chance to talk to Coach Teddy Atlas, and you know what? He said some pretty fucking cool things to me that I needed to fucking hear because when you have an athlete like me, you have to have somebody or something just get your fucking attention. I've had almost like a domino effect of certain people that have gotten my shit together for me because you know what? I got so tired of my own shit. I almost had to start fucking my own self up. I had to start beating my own self up of taking these fights and wanting to start something new. And you should never want to do that, Ariel. You should love yourself enough to fucking to be able to go all the way through and not let anybody's words or actions, no matter what happens, deter you and to be able to want to feel pain like that.
What do you mean? What do you mean when you say that? Hurt yourself?
What, bro, I'm gonna be real. It was the most miserable experience after I won that belt, and then they took it away from me, and I went back and I fought that motherfucker, on that fight card. I try to keep it lighthearted because I feel that this has made me such a stronger, better man, no matter what kind of adversity I've been through. But I have got people, my fans, that are sending me memes about when Khabib and Conor were looking at me in the background, scared shitless of when I was fighting Pettis, all bloody up because they knew of what I went through and what they had done. So the UFC too. It's going to take a lot more for me to be able to stop and want to stop competing like this. It's not like go on that, and this and that. No, motherfucker. That means that I want to be completely satisfied of me actually giving really good camps, a really good effort into something that I feel that I deserve, like a new fucking belt, a title. Or you tell me I'm in the Hall of Fame, or I did enough for this, or I did enough for that, or well, I don't need that. I want to keep going. People might need that as certification where it's like, okay, yeah, you retired from the UFC and then you're going to go fight over here. Dude, you didn't fucking retire. You changed leagues. Everybody wants a sad sob story, and I'm not about that. I'm about fucking winning. I'm about to go out there and get this fucking season, dub season, bro. I have a team depending on me, my family, more fucking faith in everything. It's all lining up. The planets just aligned up the other day. It's amazing how this stuff works. And, you know, any given Sunday, anything can fucking happen, Ariel.
I love it.
May 11th.
In a way, I wonder if this is all a blessing because now, like you said, you change teams, athletes go through this, you change leagues, whatever, and you don't have to worry about the UFC past. You don't have to worry about the streak. Now it's just fresh. You can start like your.
It's amazing,
right? Did you feel that way? Dude. Do you feel like it's a fresh start?
Look, man, when you lose your baseball glove, it takes a second to adjust to a new one because you don't want to say bye. But you know you're gonna have to fucking play the game. Can you play without a glove? No. You better go fucking get a new one, and you get one quick, and you break that bitch in, and you get comfortable playing in it. We got a 6-sided cage that we're gonna be fighting in May 11th in LA. Can't release too many details because there's a lot of fucking hype behind this. But if I have to lead the way with knocking this dude out, finishing this guy, or whatever the fuck I have to do to get my maximum of points from my team, you bet your ass they can count on me to do that shit, no matter who the fuck they put in front of me on May 11th.
There was one question that I think a lot of the fans had because he is scheduled, Dillon Danis, to box KSI in this fight that you were talking about on March 29th.
Not my problem. Hey, look, not my problem. I was about to take that fucking fight too, so every fucking man is a grown-ass man. You're going to have to own up to your decisions. You're going to figure it out. If he doesn't make it, I have a backup, right? But what do I say? Look, when I went into wrestling, when I started little, I started watching people go up to the wrestling charts, worrying and talking about who they're going to wrestle next. And I'm like, well, I don't know that. But you learn fear from other motherfuckers. I'm not about that. I'm not worried about who I'm going to fight because I'm going to be the best prime, whatever the fuck prime is. I'm not a prime. There's no Optimus Prime Tony fucking Ferguson. I'm fucking me. I'm working on beyond legendary status of what I already fucking have. People are going to have to beat me on the fucking mat for that. And I don't see that happening, dude. I do not see that happening any fucking time soon, especially this year or next year. I've lost enough. I'm done. I'm over it. I got a brand new fucking GFL hoodie. I'm about to have my jersey with my name on it. Our mascots are about to be released. You just wait till I get my fucking gloves, Ariel. I sat one down because, you know what? I wanted the fans to see, you know what? A little bit of action from me because that bullshit fucking thing that they got out there was nothing. It was nothing. They deserve better than that, and they're going to get it more on May 11th on GFL. So you motherfuckers better tune in.
By the way, how do you feel about Dillon? He's a polarizing figure in the sport. How do you feel about him?
I'm a polarizing fucking figure in this sport, bro.
You're beloved. No, Tony, there's a difference. You're beloved in the sport. You are someone that the fans feel very strongly about. A lot of the fans don't have that love for him. Let's be honest. You have put blood, sweat, and tears into the sport. People talk about you. They react. They feel a certain way. You can't say the same about him. With all due respect, jiu-jitsu is one thing, not an MMA fighting. Let's keep it real.
The reality is, look at people change. Look at John Cena, right? Supposedly he became the heel.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Look at, I'm not about the show, Ariel. And when it became entertainment, and I had to realize that in order to look for financials, for my future, for my family, and I knew that was entertainment and all this other shit when it came into it, it was different. This is not entertainment for me. I'm not in it for entertainment. I have a picture in my head of new goals, of crushing this season. You have no idea, bro. I dropped from 211. When I got my hair did by Bosley, I got it probably about 6 months ago. I just got my hairline done by Bosley. I was sponsored. Amazing fucking guys. Dr. Deutsch and the whole entire staff in LA are just beyond amazing. You guys hit me up if you need to get a consultation. It made me feel fucking absolutely comfortable. And you're talking about something about confidence. and not just hair and just anything. You're talking about being around people that are confident, that believe in you, that fight for you, that want to be a part of your team. You know, you had Dr. Eric Thomas. He had some go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. And for a long time, I felt like I was just being tolerated and just doing that. Yeah, I don't mind being hated or loved or whatever. That's not my problem. My biggest issue is how my performance is. And for a long time, my performance has been piss poor shit. So I'm not worried about what people are gonna say or do. Maybe he's turned a leaf. Maybe he's gonna figure his. It's not my prerogative, bro.
Hmm.
My point is to make sure that I boost my team as much as I possibly can, like I'm boosting my son's teams where I'm coaching with them. And his back, dude, the kid's doing like almost 3 sports right now: baseball, football, and basketball. And he's finishing up 1-1. And I'm keeping him busy. Why? Because that's what you do. You don't sit around moping, scrolling, looking for other fucking people, try to compare yourself to anybody else. I'm not doing that. I'm over it. I've never have done that before because I realized I was at the cream at the fucking top when things get shaken up, Ariel. And that's what people like. They like a fucking fighter, and damn it, I'm a fucking legendary fighter. I'm working my ass off towards something else. And what does Kung Fu Panda go to? Spirit Warrior, right?
Yes.
Yeah, man, that's it. That's it. You know, I'm a Dragon Warrior. I'm making my ways up. You know, and I got a different staff every time I walk in that fucking cage.
Just out of curiosity, why didn't the KSI boxing match happen?
That was on me, and it wasn't saying no. It was about negotiations.
Okay.
And they were coming up, and it was really good, bro. I'm gonna be real when it came to it. And the company that whoever's working with them and their managerial side is really professional. And I'm really excited and happy that everybody wants to, one, compete, two, see me perform, and three, see me happy. Like that's the biggest part. I was miserable for a long time and faking that shit, Ariel. Just passing fucking fake smiles and doing this because it was just to show up. It was hard because and not faking it, it's like you think that's the reality, but damn it, dude, are you really happy? And what else is suffering because of that? And if you see that trickle effect, then you got to go to the root and you got to either one, feed it nutrients, or two, you got to take the fucking weed out and put something else better there.
Why do you think you were unhappy?
Oh, why do you think, Ariel? Let me ask you.
Well, you know, obviously it's a personal question. The answer that
in your opinion, out of what you have seen in the media and why people like me, what do you think? And just in your opinion, in 30 seconds or less.
Well, okay, so there's a long answer, right? Everything that's happened to you since the incident at the Fox Studios is the long answer.
And even before that, and listen, and Ariel, and even before that, I had hurt my knee pulling rubber guard with Eddie Bravo a couple weeks before, and I went through camp with the intentions of fucking going through there, being hurt, and fucking showing up. And it was only until a little smaller incident the fucker ripped off the bone. I have X-rays and CT scans trying to fucking make sure that I could make it there until it was completely tore the fuck off, Ariel. You got to realize, man, I'm tough as fucking shit, but I'm not fucking stupid.
Hey there, sorry to interrupt. Just want to remind you, if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate it very much. And while you're at it, give us a thumbs up too. You know, we've got live shows, interviews, clips, and a whole lot more going on this here channel. All right, now back to the show. And so I guess then the short-term answer is just you weren't happy with the way things were going in your athletic career.
Well, look, there was a movie called Luck. You know, good luck goes to good luck and bad luck always goes to bad luck. When bad shit happens, it's not like look forward towards all the bad shit, but sometimes domino effect, right? Sometimes shit just kind of rolls in, trickles in, maybe triple, trifecta, whatever you want to call it. God has worked with me in certain fucking ways that I cannot explain. And I'm working on my cursing too. There's a lot of codes that I used to have as I was growing into this that I have lost because of the friction effect that I have had in this industry. Not just bad, it's been good. And that's what you have to have. You have to have the mixture of good and bad to be able to understand and have experience. This sport has made such an incredible journey for me to explain whatever I could possibly explain in my own words to people. If they want to listen, they can listen. They don't have to listen. They don't have to watch me fight. You guys don't have to watch this show, but you choose to. And the fact that you choose to makes me want to choose to go and keep competing and do this the right way. And I'm very fortunate to be able to have a promoter and a promotion and teammates and classmates that we're all so fucking Billy badass that we're gonna turn this shit in. I mean, I don't see too many people like being called washed up. You know, you're gonna get so washed up that you're gonna fucking turn out sparkly clean, and then everything is gonna fucking just be not what everybody expected. I guarantee you, I feel what everybody else is feeling when everybody wants to hate on this league because they don't know. One, two, they're afraid, and three, it's exciting. When all three of these should be not something that's going to take you to the negative, when it should be boosting you up towards happiness. People don't see that. People are getting mad. They're like, this is not what we asked for. This is not. Bitch, you're fucking lucky you have a platform to be able to talk about. Be thankful. I stopped following people. I stopped doing this and stopped allowing people to be in communication with me. And I'm going to start cutting people off big time because I've allowed myself to become too spread thin with people rather than focusing my energy on where it needs to be, which is faith, family, and friends, Ariel.
Mm-hmm. How many times do you expect to fight this season? Like, have they guaranteed you X amount?
Look, at the way I see it, right? A national tournament in college, in high school, it's 5 to win it. You got 3 regular season games, and then you got 2 playoff. I plan on pinning everybody like I was in the Ultimate Fighter. I'm not going into this shit. Look, I wanted to be a 4-time national champion. I won nationals my first time at Grand Valley. The second time I hurt a 184 pounder. I bumped up 2 weight classes, Ariel, and I took 4th that year. I was weighing in at 175 and I was wrestling 184 pounds. I wrestled John Jones and lost by 1 point at the Cliff King National Duels, and he remembers that. Like, I'm a gamer, bro, but when it comes to my weight, I wrestled at 165, and we're competing at 165. This is where I belong. Not 155. I'm 41 years old, and I'm faster as fuck. I'm quicker. I'm more conditioned than a lot of these dudes. But where I'm at is I'm not trying to keep up with them. This is a rat race, but I'm no rat. I'm a turtle, a ninja turtle.
Yes.
This time you guess which one is my fucking favorite. I'm feeling a little wrath, bro.
I love it. I love it. We missed you, Tony. We really did.
Miss you guys too, guys.
It's great to hear you so excited and positive. It's really something that I think a lot of fans will feel very heartwarming, and because, like I said, they feel so strongly about you, and I'm sure you see people saying things like, as you alluded to earlier, but I'm sure you also see a lot of support and love, right? I'm sure you have your.
Oh, dude, I always do. I really never see negative, and I think, and I hope, and I know. This is not hope and thinking. No, I know for a fact. Look, at people go through shit every fucking day, and if somebody can relate to somebody and find a new way, that's awesome. And I'm glad that people can relate to everything that I've been doing. And if they can, they look and feel inspired to it to make their life better, hell, do it, man. I have to say one thing. One day I would like to meet Sylvester Stallone. I want to say thank you to that dude because I don't really say too many people that when I was younger who I watched, but he was one of the dudes that was on Rocky that had a really big effect on how I used to carry myself. And you can relay that message. Say thanks, Rock.
Amazing. I'll just ask you a couple more, and then we'll let you go. What about training for this fight? Where will that be done?
Oh man. Well, so I'm in Southern California. So previously, I had reached out to Faraz Zahabi, and I said to myself, I was like, "Well, who was your target at 170 pounds?" That was GSP, and I had met GSP, and he's a tremendous dude, man. Athlete, just fucking awesome. He's awesome. He's so humble. And I reached out to Faraz and asked him. So I have the invite to go out there. I still do. I have the invite for a couple other places. And what I'm doing right now is I'm building, Ariel. I have some time. It's not like I have to rush. I don't have to make myself fight. I have a date. I have an opponent, and I'm building very smart right now. I've reached out to my coach from Def Clutch, Marty Morgan.
Wow.
I have my dad in my corner. My dad was in my corner for all my sports all the way until after high school and college. And for the longest time, I haven't been there. We just all been really busy. And I reached back out to him, and he's helping me out. And it's fucking awesome, dude. I'm in such a great fucking place right now, Ariel. It's gonna be scary for this guy, and I don't want to tell you too much what I have going on, because I'm gonna be real. It's gonna be great, and I'm gonna hire a film crew to be able to show you guys the steps of what I go through in order to get this done, from wrapping my hands all the way to ice back to the preparations in the back. I think that you guys might want to see this, and I think this is the time I should document it.
Yes. What about David Goggins? Are you still in contact with him?
Cheap. I just talked to him the other day. You know, sometimes we just send each other messages or we make a phone call. It's a quick couple minutes or whatever the fuck we got to do to either talk to each other or straighten another kid out between us. You know, it's like, hey, this kid wants to talk to you real quick and boom, boom, boom. Can we yeah, dude, coach, chief, I got you. And likewise, it's a different relationship, and I have to be able to say that when you surround yourself around like-minded people, you get things done. And Chief is really cool for me, and that door is always open on this side and likewise on that side. That's awesome.
And ultimately, what drew you? I mean, GFL, the season, it seems like this is a perfect fit for you because you've always sort of talked about these things. But perhaps if GFL wasn't around, they're brand new, right? Where do you think you would have gone in this post UFC chapter of your life?
Oh, I would have said, give me my fucking shoes. I would have said, you guys want to see me really move? Look, I'm a wrestler at heart, but I've been wrestling for so long, I got so burnt out because everybody wanted to do it. When somebody wants to do something I'm good at, I get burnt out, I move on. I'm like, I'll come back later. You know, I bought Adam Machine. I actually bought the 50-year-old wrestling company. You can go to Wrestling Adam. It's Wrestling Adam. I bought it from Dan Gable's. His name is Rick Catcher from Granville. He was Dan Gable's roommate in college in Iowa, and just an amazing dude. And I bought this company, and I make these takedown machines. I make them custom, and I have another couple people that help me. My father, my dad, and a couple people. But I don't have to sell these. These are mine. I sell them to the military and to other people to teach people how to wrestle better. If you don't have a wrestling partner that doesn't know how to do their shit, you come and talk to me. You know, I'm dealing with business with U of M and a couple other people, big businesses. I've inherited this business because I bought it out of my whole hard-earned money for my retirement. My background is wrestling. But when I wrestled, I wore wrestling shoes. That's the difference. You move differently with shoes on. I grew up playing sports like baseball, wrestling, and football with cleats where your feet get to dig into the ground. If I got shoes on, Ariel, you got a whole new fucking athlete. And these boxers are in trouble. Like, that's it, man. I'm a different athlete when it comes to just boxing. I don't have to worry about takedowns or fucking submissions or nothing. All I got to worry about is putting hands on you. And I got to hit and not get hit. Let's fucking go.
So with your deal with GFL, can you still box? Is this still a possibility? Like,
I can do anything I want. I can go and try out for fucking spring season baseball if I wanted to for the Cucuys, the 66ers out there, and fucking Inland Empire. You know what I mean? I could go and do whatever the fuck I want. And that is the freedom that I've always wanted as an athlete. But as a college student, you can't go and be a doctor unless you go what? Once you you graduate high school, you go to college, right? You get your degree, then you go to graduate school, right? And then after you have to what? Do what? Your residency.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can go and after all this debt and everything, right? That's how I feel. I have gotten my doctorate in so many fucking types of sports psychology. You're talking about sports therapy for my knee. I can't wait to go back to school. It's going to be easy for me to go and get these degrees. And I say degrees, not just one. It's going to be easy because I had the experience. Before I didn't have the experience to do this. Now I have the experience between MMA, sports, and how I want to go in the direction of how I would like my kids to be able to brought up, which is school first, faith, family, friends in the school. You know, like there's pecking orders of things in the structure. If you don't have structure and you don't know where everything is going, i.e. rankings, you know, it's like even Dana got mad with John Jones and Makachev, like whatever rankings and everything. At least there is something like that. And with the sport that keeps growing, like I said, it's in the right direction. So we're lucky that we have people that have the balls to be able to step up to the plate and provide more job security for athletes like myself.
Do you leave, with peace in your heart? Do you close the UFC chapter, doing what you...
No, dude. Oh. Absolutely not. Never, never, never. For me, it was about having to move on myself. Because how can you grow if you don't let go of a car? How can you grow, right? Like if your first car that you bought, do you still have it?
No, I do not.
No, you don't. You had to grow, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so you see it, right? You might see your car later on, but kind of like, damn, yeah, that's great memories and stuff. And that's what experience that you build off of. I was in the Ultimate Fighter. I learned so much in that house of my diet, how to take care of myself. I know how to rest because I've played sports my whole life, but then you're talking about supplements. Clay Harbison was the one that helped me talk to me about, supplements. You had Charlie Rader. He was always, worrying about his diet. So that dude was always eating spinach. And you had Chuck, who was always trying to help Charlie with his diet. So like it was a team effort, but you got to learn so much. It was like freshman year in college, man. And then you win, and then you're like, okay, now it's like, okay, now I'm in, oh shit, okay, now this is like the UFC. Now you're learning it. And as you go on through the years in college, you kind of know the campus, you know the teachers, you know the professors. Dude, I got my master's from fucking UFC. Now I'm in the residency.
Hmm.
I'm in the residency at GFL now. I get to use my experience, my negotiations that I learned over the years, how to handle myself, how to work entertainment, how to pull in people, right? Because you just don't want to see a lame ass go in there and fucking not say nothing. No, but you got to say the right things. You're talking about the team. This is my team. I've been waiting for a team for a long time. And now with this opportunity to be able to show you guys how a real athlete like myself, not like anybody else, like myself, goes about these things in daily life. And I think that you guys are going to be very happy and very interested in the way that everybody is going about the seriousness in this organization, because I don't think anybody's taking it seriously. Thus forcing our class, right? Because how old are you, Ariel?
I'm 42. You just turned 41, right?
Yeah, and remember when we were freshmen, right? I was a freshman, you were a sophomore. So this class between 2002 and what? That was the graduating class in like maybe 1999, right there. That was a different class. That was a different 4 years. There was a different from sports, talking about people experiencing things from Nintendo, PlayStation, fucking memory cards, discs, VHS, all that shit. We went through all that. We understand change better than fucking anybody. And if anybody's going to be able to do it, fucking bust out the Nintendo game cards. We know how to do that shit too. We get these games started and we know how to fucking do it because we lived through it. And if we're going to do it, this is the generation to do it.
So May 11th, Los Angeles, Dillon Danis, victim number 1, new chapter, clear-minded.
Clear-minded, absolutely clear-minded. I already have people coming through this week to get some great work in. I'm excited. It's looking good, Ariel.
I love it. It's not often we get to speak to you. I just want to give you the platform. Is there anything else that we didn't touch on that you'd like to share? Anything you want to say to the people listening, people watching right now? I wish we could see the new hair. It sounds fantastic.
I know, it's a special thing. I don't want to. I know I kind of boasted a little bit on there, but I'm going to be real. You guys just tune in. I have a couple people that I've worked with that have proven and that can handle the content building of what I want to do. So we're going to release some cool stuff for you guys, and I think it's about time. And let's make this a great year, man. 2025. Let's make this a year of growth. Let's make this a year of building new relationships and fucking having each other's back, man. I'm all for team, and people have my back. It's on my team. I got their back 150%. You can count on me.
Amen. Thank you, Tony. Great to hear from you. Appreciate you calling in. Congrats on this new opportunity, this new chapter, and good luck on May 11th. We shall be watching, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim.
Get it.
Thank you, Tony. All the best to you. And hopefully talk to you again in the not too distant future. There he is, the great El Kukui, one of a kind. They don't make him like him. They don't make many like him. He is one of one. He is a true OG of the game, and he is returning to action on the 11th of May. I sort of alluded to that earlier, but that's the Danis fight, and I think they're going to front load that one. I think a lot of the big names, you know, the Weidman Rockholds, the Faber Barrows, that's the plan, at least for now, on the west coast of the United States. So stay tuned for that. But especially in those first couple of answers, I felt like he was very clear-minded, speaking from the heart, speaking about the previous chapter, which seems to be a bit of a theme on today's program, and seems to be excited about what's to come. Now, obviously, the elephant in the room is Danis fighting KSI on the 29th of March in 26 days from now. If that all goes okay, and we know this, if this happens in California, that's a very good commission, in my opinion, the gold standard when it comes to athletic commissions. They will do their due diligence, no doubt about it, to make sure that he is healthy enough to compete. That's the one part that you're like, don't love when two fights are announced. You know, we saw it in boxing recently. It often, just goes a little bit sideways, but that's a big time one. That's a big time one on the 11th of May, and then, of course, March 29th. And like I said, there's a press conference tomorrow in England for that KSI fight, and I suspect there will be fireworks. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.